Good evening or good morning to all my brothers and sisters wherever you are, and I welcome you to this World Conclave of Haidakhan Samaj to celebrate Makar Sankranti. I'll speak a few words about Makar Sankranti. So Babaji used to celebrate Makar Sankranti in a very big way. He would give new mantras on this day and ask people to go and practice chanting of the mantra in the Mahashakti Dhuni at Haidakhan Mahadham. The chanting would start at about 9 or 9:30 in the evening, accompanied by bhajans and kirtans, and at about midnight there would be a tea break with biscuits also, again followed by continuation of japa and singing of bhajans till about 3:30 a.m. when we would go and take a bath in the Gautami Ganga river. Thereafter, we would go up the 108 stairs to the ashram and get ready for Chandan to be applied by Babaji himself in his kutir at 5 a.m. Babaji used to say that there are no evil spirits on this day and all our prayers reach directly to the gods without any impediment. Therefore, it is one of the most auspicious days in the entire year. On the day of Makar Sankranti, the sun starts traveling from the southern hemisphere into the northern hemisphere, that is from Dakshinayan to Uttarayan. January 14 is observed as Pongal in Tamil Nadu, where the newly harvested rice is boiled with ghee, turmeric powder, molasses, bits of sugarcane and milk. This is the Tamilian version of khichdi. The festival lasts for over 3 days. The day prior to Makar Sankranti is observed as Bhogi festival or Lodi festival in North India. On this day, all old waste and unwanted items in one's house are scrapped or burnt. The second day, that is the Makar Sankranti day, is observed with having a bath in the holy rivers in India and also having an oil bath in certain parts of India and wearing of new clothes. The third day of Sankranti is observed as Mattu Pongal in South India. Cows that are worshipped in India are colorfully decorated and taken around the villages in the evening. Their horns are painted and capped, their bodies are covered with new clothes, and bells are tied to their tails. In some places, ox fights and buffalo fights are also organized. This day, also known as Kanu Pongal, colored rice balls are offered to the sun god. On a different note, for me personally, this date has a great significance because it was only one day after the celebration of Makar Sankranti, that is on the 15th January in the year 1984. I had Babaji's last darshan in the physical form, and it was then he confidentially informed me that he would be leaving the earth for good a month later, that is on the 14th February that year. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Lohri. Lohri is a celebration of the arrival of longer days after the winter is gone. It celebrates the sun proceeding on its northward journey. The festival of Lohri, which is celebrated primarily by Sikhs, Punjabis, and all Hindus across India, is celebrated with music and dance a night before Makar Sankranti with a puja parikrama around the bonfire with prasad. Folklore of Punjab believes that the flames of the bonfire lit on the day of Lohri carry the messages and prayers of the people of Sun God to bring warmth to the planet to help crops grow. In exchange, the Sun God blesses the land and ends the day of gloom and cold. The next day is celebrated as Makar Sankranti, as I've said earlier. The first Lohri celebration for new brides in Punjab is very auspicious occasion. These young brides are dressed in their bridal best, wearing colorful bangles, new clothes, and look even more beautiful on this day. The grooms, not to be left behind, are expected to wear a new attire and colorful turbans to match with the brides. Thus, the festival is a seasonal observance as well as a religious celebration of the departure of winter and the arrival of warm, auspicious times. Thank you very much.
Bhole Baba Ki Jai. Brothers and sisters, a very warm welcome to you once again. Goswami Tulsidas in Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, he said, Binu satsang vivek na hoi, binu hari kripa sulabh na hoi. Which actually means that wisdom doesn't dawn upon you till such time you have satsang with the wise people. And without the grace of God, you don't get satsang. So wisdom comes from satsang, but satsang comes from divine grace. Few years back, I had read a book called They Lived with God. This was about the disciples of Ramakrishna Paramhans. In that book, they illustrated stories of people who lived with a God. Today, we are sharing the experiences of our brothers and sisters who had lived with Babaji. They were personally trained by Babaji. They were personally foretold by Babaji about the coming times. Babaji, in his teachings, had been telling us about the Mahakranti. And today, the kind of pandemic or the challenge to the humanity which we are facing today, COVID-19, the entire humanity in its lifetime had never experienced a challenge to its own existence at such a large, massive scale. Now, our brothers and sisters who had lived with Babaji, who were trained by Babaji, they will share their experiences with you, that how they were prepared to lead through this challenge, how Babaji had prepared them. So through this satsang, we will partake their learnings, their teachings, what Babaji had taught them, and how they lived through this challenge. Now it's over to you, our elder brother, a wise old man, Yogendra Bhai from Mumbai. He'll share his experiences about living through this period.
Bole Baba ki jai. I am Yogendra from Manda Ashram. Here I would like to say something about Manda Ashram. See, Babaji desired to have an ashram in Gujarat, and we saw number of lands and ultimately decided to buy the land on which the ashram stands today. It belonged to a family, and after the deal was concluded, we were told by the family that their father had told them that if the land is sold, it should be sold to a saint, and the prophecy came true. Now, at the temple, here the temple was constructed where Shri Babaji installed Murti of Shri Ganeshi, Mahakali and Bhairavji, and later on the Murti of Shri Hanumanji was installed. Now, we also have a kutia of Shri Babaji, which was renovated on behest of Shri Dr. Clark, Madhubhai and other devotees, and where the Murti of Shri Babaji was by wish of Dr. Clark and Shri Harikrishna Udani was placed and installed by Shri Muniraj ji. We also have a Gaushala over here where we maintain the cows, old cows, and as desired by Babaji, we don't let them go to the slaughterhouse. During the full period of lockdown, I was at Manda Ashram looking after the temple and kutia all alone, and there was nobody, not even a pujari. This could happen only because of blessings of Shri Babaji and inspiration of Babaji. Otherwise, such thing cannot be taken place, and I still look after the temple and kutia even now. Bole Baba ki jai.
Thank you, Yogendra Bhai. Is our brother Nan Singh from Australia.
Bole Baba Ki Jai. At the end of 2019, vast swathes of Australia were on fire. By the end of February 2020, more than 110,000 square kilometres had been burnt, 20% of the vast Australian forests, with an estimated loss of 3 billion animals. A remarkably few number of people died, but almost 6,000 properties were lost. Even large cities were threatened and blanketed in smoke for months. It was as if Armageddon had arrived, and we lived with masks long before COVID came. For weeks, I had important papers and some clothes packed in my car, ready to flee at a moment's notice, as I watched from my garden the forested hills close to my home burn day and night, the sky filled with flames as the fire approached on an 80-kilometre front. I couldn't undertake the weekly Haven due to a total fire ban, making lighting a fire outside illegal. During this time, I felt fear, but I remembered Babaji's promise that the mantra was like a protective umbrella. I keep a small pair of padukas on the shrine in the house, and I kept in mind hanging on to his feet for protection. Again, those words of Babaji, which seem to take on different meanings over time. But in this time I heard, you have to go through the fire. I cannot say that I didn't experience trauma, but with all these years of practice, I found I was able to observe the trauma as a passing emotion. With Babaji's grace, a lot of rain in the middle of a drought, and the support of our beloved Haidakhan brothers and sisters around the globe who lovingly kept in touch during the crisis, I survived. So even before COVID arrived, countless numbers of people in Australia were traumatised, or at least living in fear from their experience of the fires. As the fires subsided, COVID emerged. State and national borders were closed, and most of us were not allowed to leave the country. And all around the world, people were now truly traumatised. Panic shopping set in crazily, as if it was the end of the world. I have to say that in these moments I felt relatively calm as I remembered Babaji saying we had to make ourselves strong in our own countries and not keep running to India. For the day would come when international travel would cease. And so it did. Whilst COVID-19 has had a huge economic impact on Australia, like many other countries, but the hand of the virus has been relatively light compared to much of the world. Nonetheless, fear has gripped many, many people, and reports of people seeking support for mental illness and depression have increased dramatically. I've maintained a daily practice of connecting with as many people as possible and seeking to give support through loving kindness with a smile, a word, or just listening to each person's story, whether those be serving in local shops or the supermarket, neighbours, colleagues, or just someone I met randomly. This has also fed me with love. So often when we pray, we ask for something to happen, or to be given to us, or something to be removed. With this pandemic, it is a kranti as Babaji predicted. And he said even he couldn't stop it. So I felt it was pointless to pray for it to be stopped. So rather I've prayed for his hand to be gentle as possible and to ask for light, knowledge and understanding to be granted to all beings, that we might awake one day to a world embracing a new consciousness where we all in our own way bow down to the divine and live according to the Dharma. For all that see this, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be at peace, and remembering that in his eyes we are all utterly loved. Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you, Nansing. Now, the second satsang is from Khadkwa Anand.
Bole Baba Ki Jai, Jagadambe Mata Ki Jai, Sri Bajrang Bali Ki Jai, Sri Maha Muniraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Hello and namaste from Sri Sri Sadashiva Mahavatar Dham here at Kamalaya in Koh Samui. It's a great honor to have the opportunity to say hello to everybody. Miss you all, love you all. I hope your families are healthy and that you all have a new and renewed sense of purpose in life. We have kept Kamalaya open and serving our guests and our team, and we have found this the best way to stay active and proactive in the world. So we wanted to remain relevant and not to succumb to fear and anxiety. We feel that keeping our team healthy in body, mind, and spirit is the best thing that we could do. So our team has, I think they're even better than ever before. Many of our team members have even lived in the resort and gone through our programs. Of course, we also had some sacrifices. We're a bit smaller of a team now than we were before. We've had to make terrific cuts and everything, but we have stayed open, stayed relevant, and stayed purposeful. So RT goes on twice a day. Our RT circle has grown. Today is Makar Sankranti, so I want to wish you all a fruitful Makar Sankranti. We will be doing an Abhishek in the morning. We'll be doing a lot of puja. We'll have a big oven. We'll serve khichdi to all our guests. It's a big event that we do. And it's also the 10th anniversary of the temple that Sri Muniraji and Vinod Sastriji inaugurated more than 10 years ago. So what I really wanted to say in this little moment that I have is that more than ever, we are practicing Babaji's teachings while being proactive in life, proactive in the world. We believe that the opportunity is here to create a better and more balanced world. Babaji taught us to be active and engaged, and I encourage everyone to do better, to be better, and to stay focused and maintain gratitude. We have so much to be grateful for. We're actually watching this video. So many people have suffered so much. Many of us have also suffered, but here we are. This is not a time to withdraw. This is a time to have faith and courage and work towards a better world. It's a tough time, but it's a great opportunity to practice what Mahaprabhuji taught us. Satya, Saralta Prem, and Karma Yoga, and that happiness comes through service, through taking care of people. We wish you a joy-filled Makar Sankranti with reinvigorated faith and the strength and the will to make the world better for you, for your family, and for everyone. I remember Babaji telling us to create islands of light, to light candles, and to spread the truth, simplicity, and love from place to place. This is our job, folks. This is our time. He trained us for this. Be strong, have faith, be bold. Remember, Babaji told us to be bold, be active. Sending you all so much love. Sorry I'm not there. Can't wait that we can all see each other again. Bole Baba Ki Jai from Kamalai.
Thank you, Brother Kaku. Now, Raghuveer will share his learnings and how he's lived through the COVID-19 period.
Bole Baba Ki Jai. Responding to the chairman's request of saying something about how I experienced Babaji during the lockdown. Well, a lot more even than usual, because what to focus on. Usually I travel a lot more to India and in the summers to Europe, but can't go anywhere. I'm sitting here on a tropical island, which is all very beautiful. But traveling for the moment is purely inside, and that is, it's not the first time that I travel inside, but it's a lot at the moment, and it is also, I think, what might be the meaning of all this. I believe personally that this is the Kranti, only the beginning of it, that Babaji was always warning us for, and now we need to see what's true and connect really strongly with the divine and keep our focus there, because outside it's going to get mad. It is going to be out of control, and it is not the fault of one or the other particular world leader or group. This is collective consciousness that is under pressure. I think that it is just we are under the influences of particular constellations that was creating havoc on Earth. And it's not just in the White House or in some certain places, it is happening inside of us also. And the weak ones, the weaker ones who have more invested in their lives in greed and fear and anger and these kind of things, they will suffer these things and they create more mess for others. And we have a chance here with the knowledge and the connection that we have with Babaji is to practice and to do other things. Luckily, just before the lockdown, I have a Havankund made here, so I can practice that. I go a few times a week to Kamalaya to sing Aarti in company. Singing the Aarti is a very powerful tool. Even when I do it on my own, it is very wonderful. And to keep that focus and not be so much under the influence of all the other things which are playing, astrological influences and the things that we are influenced by. Just now over our New Year's, I've said a few days closed everything, the Wi-Fi, the TV and the phone and the door, and ate simple food once a day, and for the rest I only spent time with my mala. Then the sadhana starts to take it has a different effect when you really go. It takes half a day, but then it goes really deep, and things happen. Transformations are happening. I don't know how to put that in words, but I would like to advise you to try some of that if you can, because it's not also possible for everybody to do that with work or with family. But if you can, spend some time by yourself and letting that divine which we carry in our heart to let it bloom in this period of madness. You'll feel much better yourself, but you will also breathe a little bit more peace around you, and I think it's important to connect. For the rest, I'm spending some time with writing still, and I hope to be of service to the community, to inspire. It inspires me, and I hope in turn it inspires you to constantly be reminded of Babaji in our heart, and to make your own efforts to do similar things, and to together cuddle under his wings for the coming time, because this is not over yet. It's going to take all sorts of forms, and we better pray and hold on strongly to Babaji's feet. Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you, Brother Raghuveer. Now, Ram Loti from USA will share her learnings and how she has lived through the COVID-19 period.
I'm particularly grateful, I guess as I think about it, it's that he told us he would always protect us. And that's really makes a difference, particularly in this world today, because yesterday you saw what happened at our capital of the United States. It's a time of unknowns. Dear people have died, and they're sick, and they're scared and depressed. People call, write, email all the time about wanting prayers. It's a great time of difference. And we were very prepared for it by all of Babaji's teachings. And his solution always is to be devoted, to remember the name of God, to do your practices. And it's the practices that are just so touching and so helpful at this time for me. Getting to dress Mother and Babaji as padukas, do the arti, the pujas, the fire ceremonies each day, the Saptasati, the reading of the Devi Bhagavatam, the Karma Yoga, the Japa, 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 Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. All of these things keep me centered and keep me realizing that Babaji is here with us moment to moment to moment. And like he said, I give you a bayadan, I think is the wording, by which you will always be protected and know that I am here. So I'm deeply grateful. I think also this knowing that he's always with us gives a sense of fearlessness to take on new projects, because this time calls for creativity and new ways of doing things that I never thought in my life I would ever know how to live stream, use a video camera, and download, upload, YouTube, Zoom. All these things are totally new technology to me, and yet they're so important and they're making a difference. And I think it's only Baba's grace that allows me to be able to do these kind of things. So I'm very grateful. Bole Baba Ki Jai, and grateful for the satsang of all my brothers and sisters who are devotees of Babaji, because that also is so inspiring, us coming together. So thank you.
Thank you, Ramloti. It was a very beautiful sharing. Now it's over to Brother Pujari. Pujari has some very deep experiences about Babaji. Now he'll share his learnings about living through this period.
Dear, dear brothers and sisters, thankful for Arvind and Sanjeev to organize this conclave so we can meet in this strange way. And they asked me to say a few words how Babaji has guided me through this last year period. And it is an incredible blessing to have him in my heart, in our hearts, and walk through this period, because it's a dream, and we knew the Kranti was coming and looks like it's going on, and we don't know where it will go, but we know that sooner or later we will end up in a much more beautiful world that we have experienced in Haidakhan and around Babaji, that the heart will be the place for humanity to reside in and to share together and live together like this. Baba gave the tools that I use every day, more intensive than ever before. It is with the japa, with the meditation, with the singing the kirtan and the mantra. I'm very lucky to be here in Russia, having long walks along the river. And I wish just that everybody peacefully walks through this period with him in his heart. Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you, Brother Pujari. It was a beautiful session with you. Now, our brother Rob from England will share with us in his erudite language about his experiences through the COVID-19 period.
So, hello, old and new friends. My name is Rob Waygood, and I live in East Oxford in England with my wife Gabby, who you all know. And I think this virus year has brought a greater sense of community into our lives and to the lives of those around us. The local community in our street has become more awake to each other, and we've got to know each other better, standing in the street, socially distanced, with masks on, drinking a cup of tea or a glass of wine together. We even met 2 nights ago, about 60 of us, with candles for a vigil in the evening for one of our neighbours who died of a heart attack. This would never have happened in normal times when people would go off to a funeral and not meet in the street like that. So the first Babaji inspired idea is humanity, is community. I think that's the first. And not only just our local street community, but alternative, spiritual communities have grown under the guidance of Peter Dawkins, who's a dear friend of mine. We have been meditating, 40 of us every Sunday, for the last 9 months a year because of the virus, and meditating together for the world. So a sense of sympathy for others who are suffering in various other countries has increased. So more of a world community, world humanity. And I think that compassion for the world and awareness of local communities are the two things that I'd like to emphasize has been effect of this virus. I'd like to thank Arvind and Sanjeev and all of you for making this evening possible. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, Rob. Your sharing was beautiful. Now it's Parvati, our sister from Bali. She would share her experiences during this period.
Hi everyone, I'm Parvati from Bali. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak about Babaji. If we talk about Babaji, I cannot express my thankful to Babaji, how he always helped me to grow, always helped me. For me, it's like a lot of miracles in my life since I know this path. I can say that I'm a lucky person. I'm really blessed that I know this path. I know Babaji since from the book Paramahansa Yogananda to 2001, and then I keep searching for Babaji, but I couldn't find another book or other book about Babaji. Then I forget about it, and then 2006 I found the center in Denpasar, in the town. I joined Hafan, and then 2010 I come to Haidakhan with the Pujari, and then 2013 I start doing Hafan alone every day. It was my turning point that I become closer and closer to Babaji. Babaji always give me courage, always show me that you don't need to be afraid. He always give me words. Why fear when I'm here? Always, all the time, whenever I felt this, I feel afraid or fear. And then now I don't see that message anymore, maybe because I have more confidence even in this COVID time. I feel fine, less fear, and then I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful in this path. Send my love to all of you.
Thank you, Parvati. Now it's Jai Kishan from USA. He will tell us how he lived through the period of COVID-19.
Hello, happy Makar Sankranti. My name is Jay Shankar. I'm the president of the American Haidakhan Samaj in the USA. This year has undoubtedly brought about many challenges, not only in the form of the pandemic sweeping across the world, bringing about much loss in our lives, but also here in the US throughout a myriad of different political and racial injustices. It almost brings about the illusion of being helpless or unable to do anything. It is through the teachings of Babaji, however, that has allowed me to gain sight of these illusions. But having sight on something alone does not allow you to move forward. It is through a practice of Japanam and Karma Yoga that brings peace to the mind and the body, and it is through bhajans and kirtans that enrich the heart and fills me with joy. But it's also through the interactions of the people who were with Baba that I have learned that if you go to Baba with doubt in your mind, you will be trapped in it. And if you go with truth, simplicity, and love in your heart, then you will have an unwavering faith stronger than the atomic bomb. This has filled me with passion and positivity to be able to move forward. But it's not only that, I also am monthly reminded throughout the work of each member of the American Haidakhan Samaj and their passion that drives them to want to make our community better, greater, lift them up. And to be able to be part of that is just a joy. So, Om Namah Shivaya, Bole Baba Ki Jai. Blessings.
Thank you, Brother Jai Kishan.
Now I would like to welcome Sundar Singh, our brother from Switzerland.
Bole Baba Ki Jai. Om Namah Shivaya. It is lovely to come together as sisters and brothers, as children of Babaji, of the Divine, and to celebrate and to share. And in this time of COVID-19, we are learning to do this with digital ways. A very lovely idea of you, Arvind, to come together for Makar Sankranti. Thank you for giving the opportunity to share about our life with Babaji and about how Babaji is helping us in the COVID-19 situation. So my situation is here on Schwalbenalp, Siddhashram, Center of Unity. And this is since 42 years that I am a devotee of Babaji. He called me to Haidakhan with my family. And after a short time, I realized that he is my master. And then slowly I realized that Babaji is, for me, incarnation of Shiva, Mahavatar. And so my life has become very much influenced and taken by him. And after 2 years, he told me to create this center in Switzerland. And so since now more than 38 years, we are here on Schwalbenalp. And this is the winter on Schwalbenalp, what you see. You see here the Duni with Ganesha. You see even a place where one yogi is sleeping at night now. He's sleeping always outside in the cold, -degrees. 3 days ago, we had a lovely yagya for the New Year. Very lovely, very powerful. And puja is going on every morning, every evening with prasadini, taking care of the temple, of the yagya, of the kutir, which you see here. So it's a big privilege to live in an ashram, but it's also a big confrontation with oneself. So many years living in community, people coming, people going. And as you may know, Center of Unity Schwalbenalp became the name, and Babaji confirmed that one of our important duties is to bridge the differences of different cultures, different traditions, and bring a unity together. Sri Muniraj then gave the name Siddhashram, and this is the ashram of the power, the divine, spiritual, female power. And also always said Schwalbenalp's main duty is inner and outer peace. This is the life here. And in this life, we have a very easy stand with COVID-19. We are living like a great family, and as a great family, we have a much easier way. People come and go, and Switzerland is also not very strict. So we've been very lucky that although we had 2 long lockdowns, even this year was a very successful year. And many people who have never been coming before came this year into the temple, to the permaculture, everywhere. As Babaji said, when there will be Kranti, he said, many people will come to the ashrams. They will look for spirituality. And we experience that now. We experience really that these changes are very big. From my understanding, COVID-19 has the handwriting of Shiva and of Mother Nature. And it is trying to correct things on the planet. And every country, every person does it in their own way and gets its own mirror. But it is certainly easier than having a third world war or than having a meteorite arrive on the planet. I think the time is for big change. And while the social change, the personal change, the material change is difficult, I believe that we are also entering an age of much higher consciousness. And I believe that this consciousness is a positive energy of divine energy coming in, and that we can really be very positive. Most important it is during COVID to be positive, joyful, peaceful, and see the best all the time. Bole Baba Ki Jai. So I want now also you to meet my Pujarin, who since 6 years is on Schwalbenalp. Some of you may know her already. And so she is now doing the film with me.
Om Namah Shivaya.
So you say something.
Om Namah Shivaya, Bole Baba Ki Jai. I'm happy that I can join the meeting in this way.
And so tomorrow we will give a last little glimpse onto our community and greet you and thank you. And I hope we will all see each other soon again in physical possibility. Bole Baba Ki Jai.
I would like to please join me in thanking Brother Sundar Singh. Now it's over to Petrus, our brother from France, a man with a very beautiful heart, beautiful words, and a beautiful soul. Over to you, Petrus.
Babaji had told us that we were going to go through the Kranti, and here it is. COVID-19 is probably part of the Kranti. So I think we're confronted with a choice that's very interesting. Either feel that tough luck, we're victims of being in a situation like this and live in fear for a long time, or find a spiritual meaning in our presence on earth at this moment with this threat, and try to find ways to grow spiritually, to be more in touch with our essence, who we are and why we're here, and just to let enter Babaji's guidance and blessings all the time, and choosing faith over fear, being responsible instead of being a victim, is giving me strength and is giving me capacity to serve better, I hope. So thank you, Babaji, and Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. It was a beautiful sharing. This is one of the first ones that we have put it together. In the next meeting, we'll gather such more beautiful experiences of our brothers and sisters and share with you all. Thank you.